Do you ever feel like you're in the wilderness, that dry, isolated, desolate place? Now, obviously, I'm not talking externally because I imagine you're watching this somewhere pretty comfortable, but I'm talking about internally. I'm talking about in your emotions, in your relationships, in your spirit. Do you feel like you're in a desolate place? And you're asking yourself the question, how did I get here? Well, to understand this and how to get out of the wilderness, we need to look at the story of Elijah. Now, Elijah had just won a major victory against the evil queen Jezebel in a place called Mount Carmel. And as a result, it would have been great. He would have had success, victory. People were cheering him on. But in 1 Kings 19, verses 3, we read that Elijah was afraid and runs for his life. The reason is because Queen Jezebel says she's going to kill him. And so he drives himself into the wilderness, and that's where he gets stuck. It goes on to say he came to a broom bush, sat down under it, and prayed that he might die. I've had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors, and I'm the only one left, and now they're trying to kill me too. Do you ever feel kind of like that? Like fear has driven you into a place you don't want to be and you don't think anybody cares? You're all alone and there's no point anymore? Literally, this word fear that Elijah had is the word afraid in the Bible, which means he saw the situation. It's how he perceived his circumstances. And here's what I've learned about life. When our situation becomes greater than our God, we will become a victim of fear. And we will run into the wilderness, just like Elijah ran to the southernmost point of the kingdom. Again, another metaphor of away from God and people. So my question to you is, what situation in your life has become bigger than God? Is it a financial situation, a health, relationship situation? Ultimately, all of our wilderness experiences are rooted in how we see God and how we see our situation. So what's the solution if you find yourself there? Well, what I have learned is our victory comes when we align our perspective to God's character. God shows up to Elijah and says, "Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." See, the solution is not to look at your situation because the situation may be daunting. You can't allow your situation to dictate your choices. Instead, it's to look to God, to trust Him again, to lean back on His character and His understanding and say, "God, I'm going to trust you." And in so doing, you find yourself out of the wilderness, back to the place where God dwells and exists, the mountain of God. And that is a stepping stone to being who God has created you to be.